live? I'm assuming.
We are live here on track number 3 at the Big O, 8:30 in the evening here, Pacific Standard Time, and this is the Drive-By City Rollers versus the Portland Bridgetown Menace.
Thanks, y'all, for stopping by. It's been a fabulous day of Derby. We're glad you stuck it out to the end. Thanks for joining us here on track 3. It's sure to be an exciting bout today.
Thank you for joining me, ma'am. This is going to be a great bout, I think, to announce. I know that when Drive-By played Deep Valley earlier, it was amazing.
That's what I heard. I actually missed it. I had to work because I live in Eugene. Mer, mer.
Oh, sad trumpets.
Although, let's be honest, I get to have this in my own backyard. This is the best ever.
We have a slight delay of game happening here in the building, so if everybody could just hold on. We just have a technical issue to deal with. And I just realized I'm not wearing my hat. I always wear a hat, and I'm not wearing it.
I actually usually wear a hat and ribbons.
Yeah.
So we're both hatless tonight, which is very different from topless, folks, let me tell you. All right, looks like we got up on the line for Drive-By City, number 11, Override.
We are actually checking a number disparity right now. We want to make sure all the numbers are correct and everybody's skating with the correct name and number on their jersey before we get rolling.
And speaking of those people being efficient and thorough, can I just say thank you so much to all the refs who have come, both from this town and other towns, to be here and help us put this on. Also, our non-skating officials. Without them, we couldn't make this happen. So cheers to the refs and NSOs. Thank you so much for joining us.
There are more people here officiating bouts than doing any other volunteer service this weekend, numerically. So we have more refs in the building than we do any other type of volunteer. And you literally cannot play a roller derby bout without a referee staff. So it's pretty awesome that they come from this far to do this.
Yeah, and for those of you who have traveled from out of town, we have a brand new skate park opened within the last month. It is the largest in the country, if not the world, and it's a covered skate park, so you can skate there night or day. It's open 24 hours. It is, if you ever want to try out quad skating at the skate park, now is the time. There's an experienced park skaters to help you and have a fun and safe experience all weekend long. So really quickly, these are the ones that haven't, that's how many times we have to hit them. So when we hit them, cross this one off, all the other ones we are done with. We got them for the day. Same with this page.
Okay, cool. I am also taking notes and writing for BNN, so
Perfect.
you just punch me if I'm missing something or I'm not.
It's really hard for me to hear what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
Because there's just so much going on.
Yeah, there's a lot happening. I just don't want you to feel like you're by yourself or I'm not commenting enough or I'm bumping in at the wrong time. So
That's fine. I've actually announced by myself before.
I have too. So just slap me if something's up and you're like, hey, yo, shut the fuck up. Or if you see something.
Deal.
Are these live and everybody can hear me swearing?
I don't think I picked anything up yet.
Okay, good.
Folks, in case you were wondering, the bench coaches for Drive-By City Rollers tonight are Black Star Heroine and Filthy One. Hey, folks in the stands, is this your first Big O? Yeah, there we've got some Big O versions. Welcome, welcome. How about second time? Anyone here the second time? Lovely, love it, love it. Is anyone here for the third time? This is our third annual. What? Love it. Well, folks, we'll be doing this again next year. Be sure to check us out. Hey, love. I knew Frenchie back when she skated for us.
Oh, wow.
As long as we got a second, and I like talking, I want to say thank you to all our EMTs. Again, people that volunteer their time, totally here to help out, make sure everyone stays safe. Thank you so much to the EMTs on all the tracks that are here all weekend long. We'd also like to thank 101.5 K-Fly's Oregon Real Rock. And thanks to the LTD Lane Transit District for supporting the Big O. Check out the One Pass. For only $50, your kids get access to Willamette Lane facilities and unlimited LTD rides all summer long. We should find out what time last call is.
Last call
For food and alcohol over there?
Yeah.
Because we are the last bout.
Connect to the interwebs. So we are still working on our technical issue here in the building. Just to let you know a couple of things that are going on tomorrow. Right now on the other track, it is the Ole Rollers versus the Executioners. Oh, we are ready to start. So Shreddy Mercury alongside Override on the line. Override trying to find his space. Shreddy Mercury coming around the outside, picking up lead jammer for Portland.
Portland forming a strong wall in front, giving Override a hard time. Meanwhile, Shreddy Mercury sneaks by on the inside line. Deal.
So we have Chris Austin up to the line for Portland alongside, I believe it is 114 for the Drives by City Rollers.
714, that's Tees.
Ah, thank you. So happy that you're here.
I'm so happy you're here.
So Earl Slick headed to the penalty box for Portland, and it looks like Chris Austin picking up lead jam, taking us 5 points and running with it. We do have drive-by, did pick up 2 right there, so.
And Captain Obvious. Up on the line, it's Windbreaker for drive-by and Captain Obvious for Portland. Captain Obvious hit to the inside by that nice strong wall of white in the back.
Captain Obvious trapped behind Defensive Destroyer. Defensive Destroyer, one of the star blockers in the last bout against Deep Valley, just does a great job keeping the pack together between he and number 6 Coffin Nailer. It is just really tough to get around. We do not yet have a lead jam, and we've already done 1 lap. It looks like Captain Obvious finally breaking out of the pack and picking up lead jammer. So it looks like he is looking for his space. Jukebox Hero looking to sweep drive-by back to the back of the pack, and he is still struggling to get through. Cosmo Damage headed to the penalty box for Portland. Drive-by finally breaking free of the pack, and number 85, Windbreaker, coming around for his scoring pass, but he is not able to make it to the back of the pack. So we have Portland with 3 points.
Oh, look at that. They're lining up in front by the pivot line. Oh, just kidding.
I keep trying to figure out why they even have the pivot line still.
I think it's, for us to reminisce and
nostalgia.
feel nostalgia for.
Of course. So Shreddy Mercury once again up to the line alongside 1776 from drive-by Thomas Refferson. And of course, those of you who caught the bout, the Deep Valley bout before this, Thomas Refferson just took every power jam and ran with it and was just pivotal in that game. He is broken free of the pack and is now trying to make his scoring pass. Meanwhile, Shreddy Mercury finally breaking free of the pack as well on his scoring pass and picking up 4 points. Chris Austin once again up to the line alongside Override, and we have seen this before. Austin picking up lead jammer for Portland. Override finally coming out the other side against Cosmo Damage.
Portland's picked up lead jammer every single jam so far. That's definitely working to their advantage.
Yeah, and that is sort of the difficulty, is that especially with teams like this where you have a real hit it and quit it attitude, Portland's not looking to rack up huge jams of 15 or 20 points. They just want a few points, and they're going to chip away at that lead by just picking up their few points and then stopping and resetting, because they know it's safer to recycle their players that way. And so the key in bouts against teams like that is to get lead jammer.
Up now, Captain Obvious fighting his way up front versus Nugget in the back, having a hard time against that wall. Hit to the outside, has to recycle in all the way at the back of that pack. Captain Obvious through, picks up lead jammer.
And Nugget, not typically a jammer for drive-by, trying out with that, but he is stuck in between Earl Slick and Jukebox Hero, having a tough time getting around them, and they are just going to recycle them back around. Portland doing a great job of keeping the pack together as that happens and not letting it spread out. Drive-by trying their best to slow down the pack, but it is not working. And so Nugget now on a power jam as Captain Obvious sits in the box for Portland. However, Nugget just called on a track cut situation, so the power jam is short-lived, and he will head to the penalty box as Captain Obvious is released. Nugget now released from the penalty box, and both teams have their jammers back. However, this bout will go for the full 2 minutes, or this jam, pardon me, will go for the full 2 minutes. Both teams now back at full strength on the track. Cougar Bait and Earl Slick putting up a wall to try and keep Nugget out of, and that is your jam.
Visit the Wild Duck Cafe for fresh-made sandwiches, salads, snacks, coffee, as well as your favorite beverage. And visit the Lobby Grill for burgers, fries, hot dogs, chicken wraps, and more. All weekend long.
Straight A Mercury picking up lead jammer once again for Portland. And Chachi finally coming out the other side of that pack, but not before Straight A Mercury starts to make his move into point earning. It looks like we do have even points for that. Oh my God, I might die.
Don't die.
Wow. Chris Austin once again up to the line against Thomas Refferson. Most of you might remember Chris Austin as Elysium on his jersey, but he is actually skating now under his given name of Chris Austin. Thomas Refferson picking up lead jam for Drive By City. So finally Drive By with their lead jam. Chris Austin still trying to break free, and he gets in a tangle with Ricardo. Ricardo headed to the penalty box as Austin tries to make his loop. Thomas Refferson up against Cosmo Damage and Topher at the front of the pack, and he is going to pick up what looks like 4 points. Override up against Jukebox Hero. Jukebox with his first jam of the night.
And that's Drive-By's first lead jammer of the night. Override gets through, picks up his 5, and calls that off.
Oh no, the guy right before this also had lead jam.
I thought the other one did.
Yeah. Just leave it there. They're going to get another lead jam.
Right? I was actually thinking that as I was crossing it off.
Straight A Mercury up against Tees, and it looks like Straight A breaking free of the pack and picking up lead jam for Portland once again. Big hit from Cougar Bait onto Tees, and Straight A Mercury ahead of him just a little while. It doesn't deter him very much, and so Tees trying to make his bid for points. Looks like we do have a back block called on Straight A Mercury, so he will head to the penalty box as Tees works on a power jam situation for the drive-by rollers, and this is the opportunity that they need to try and close up that point differential. So Tees with 5 points. Despite drive-by not getting very many of those lead jams, the score is actually very close.
Cougar Bait comes in, immediately gets a back block, sent right back to the penalty box.
a big hit on Shreddy Mercury. It looked like it was pretty painful. And Tease is going to be heading to the penalty box for that. So we do have a power jam for Portland at this point. That looked almost like it might have been a little bit of a panic response as Shreddy Mercury was released from the penalty box because it was a pretty hard hit. So the power jam for drive-by yielding a few extra points. However, Bridgetown still ahead of drive-by by 10 points, 49-39, your current score. Looks like we do have a timeout that's been called. Looks like we are having an official timeout. I'm not completely sure what it's about. But we will be starting this jam on a power jam for Portland.
Okay.
Okay, so we do have a timeout happening right now. It looks like we have white 714 Tease from that last jam has been ejected for an egregious low block, so he will not be returning to the track for this bout.
Ouchie. I know, I missed that.
Well, I saw him lay out Shreddy, but
Don't want it right over there. Yeah.
you just don't see people get ejected for that kind of thing very often.
I know.
So once again, Portland starting on the power jam with Chris Austin up to the line. Austin working pretty hard to try and get past the Destroyer and Coffin Nailer, but he does manage to do that. Lead jammer Earl Slick trying to clear him a space to come through, but it doesn't quite work. Despite that, Austin breaking free of the pack, and oh, he has been called. Looks like he thought he was called for a penalty, but he's not. So he is still on the track. It looks like drive-by jammer has been released from the penalty box. That would be 4A, Tricky Ricardo. And now it does look like Austin has been called for the penalty, so he will be headed to the penalty box. Ricardo coming up against okay, we are back on the mic. Elysium back on the track and picking up 5 points. Look like Jukes Block's hero headed to the penalty box for a track cut.
Nice hop over the apex there by Chris Austin.
And Chris Austin picking up 5 more points and calling off that jam. If you enjoy men's derby and you'd like to see more, check out the Bridgetown Menace in their next bout of the tournament and against Deep Valley tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Shreddy Mercury pushing his way through the back of the drive-by pack, and it does look like it's a little congested in there right now. Nobody quite able to break their way free. Chachi coming up against Cosmo Damage. He is not quite able to break through. Cosmo forming that bridge with number 898, Kieran Duncan. It looks like there was a star pass. Demolition Man, your jammer. And it looks like Bridgetown, or excuse me, Drive-By is trying to bridge out in the front of the pack and take care of it that way, but Demolition Man does manage to get through and pick up 5 points. Meanwhile, Chachi still trapped in that Portland pack. He gets by Captain Obvious, but Demolition Man still circling the track with 5 more points. Captain Obvious headed to the penalty box once again as Chachi picks up 4 points. Okay, so your current score 70-61 in favor of the Bridgetown Menace, with about 12 minutes left to go in this half.
Close derby is my favorite kind of derby.
I agree, and this bout is staying about the same regardless. It's about a 10-point spread pretty much all the way through to this point.
Thomas Reverson up against Shreddy Mercury, who gets through first, picks up lead jammer.
Makes me laugh what boys played roller derby in.
What do you mean?
Like the shorts that they wear and the clothes that they wear.
Really?
Yeah. Makes me giggle.
How so?
I don't know. They're just boys.
Slick used to wear flame underpants.
Yep.
Glad he doesn't anymore. Well, it looks like Austin breaking free and picking up 5 points finally for Portland.
Looks like we got a star pass over here. Bringing Windbreaker up for jammer for Drive-By City.
I definitely think one was tried, and I'm not sure if it was executed exactly like Drive-By had hoped it was. We had a star pass happen to number 85 on drive-by, that is Windbreaker, but he wasn't actually able to pick it up and put it on before the jam ended, so they weren't actually able to utilize that. And I know that you and I were just talking off mic a little bit about how close this bout is, despite the fact that Portland has gotten lead jam every time except for twice, right?
Yep. And there they just picked it up again.
That is Shreddy Mercury.
So Drive-By City's doing something right to protect their points. Playing some nice hard defense and still working on getting that jammer through. Looks like we have a back block call against
Tricky Ricardo, the jammer, headed to the penalty box, and so Portland will start the next jam as a power jam. Is that 2 in addition?
I miss what's happening. Seems to be there is some confusion.
What is he doing? Trying to figure out what the hell just happened.
I don't know either.
Shreddy got all pissy about something.
So funny. Captain Obvious with some fancy footwork gets him through, picks up lead jammer again for Portland.
Boy, and he made that look so easy that time. It was like he just decided he was going to go before the whistle was even blown, and made it. So it looks like there is a no pass, no penalty, but he is going to get the 2 points he acquired before that. And it looks like Tricky Ricardo once again being released from the penalty box, and so he will make his
Meanwhile,
pass.
Nugget working hard to hold back Captain Obvious for a while there.
Tricky Ricardo sneaking up on Captain Obvious, but Obvious does see him and calls that off, but not before he picks up an extra 3 points. They don't look very happy for people who are winning.
I know.
Like
30 points.
30 points. So your current score, Portland at 93, Drive-By City at 65 with 6 minutes remaining in this bout. Looks like we do have a timeout and a discussion happening.
We'd like to thank Blair Alley for bringing the after party to the Whitaker on Sunday night. Check out Blair Alley. Folks, I hope you bought some raffle tickets because we got some great prizes to give away this weekend. In fact, at halftime at this bout on this track, we are doing the drawing for the raffle for the day. Also, a quick shout out to all our volunteers from Eugene. The volunteers are in those bright green shirts that say Derby staff. We could not do this without them. A lot of them are loyal volunteers that volunteer for us bout after bout, and they are here making a big difference at the Big O.
texting Shovecraft. He actually messaged Shovecraft through my Facebook account and said, "This is Andrew. Tell Julia I'm on my way." The bizarre ways we communicate with each other. Okay, it looks like we are having a timeout. I suspect there's a play that they're discussing. I'm trying to figure out if it was correct or not. Once again, the Ole Rollers Texas bout is happening on the track just over from us a ways, and Tucson Humboldt is also happening right next to us on track number 2. Be sure to check those out. First thing tomorrow morning, you can check out Scotland versus Tucson and Ole Rollers versus Treasure Valley. And then if you want to catch some awesome guy action, Deep Valley Belligerents are taking on the Portland Bridgetown Menace tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Right.
Aren't we supposed to have a track monkey? You weren't here for the meeting, were you?
I was not here for the meeting. Are we supposed to have an announcer, Russ?
There's supposed to be a track monkey that runs our mic, this wireless, to the head ref, and they do the announcement.
Why not?
What was the call that landed him in the box? What landed the Captain Obvious in the box? What was that call? Did they say?
Yep. I did an official review saying that there was a cut that was not called on the Purple Jammer, that there was a missed suppression that was upheld. There was this white jammer was the box of the change. Excuse me. Purple jammer is the box of the change.
Okay.
Purple challenge sideline review. It was not overruled. The wheels were on the table. So they lost their
Okay.
Okay? Is that clear?
Clear enough.
Okay, so just bear with me here. We had 2 official reviews that just happened. Drive-By and Portland both used their reviews. Now, I'm going to ask you to correct me if I'm wrong here. Portland's review was on a white cut that happened, and it was
not upheld.
Not upheld, and so their review is gone.
Yep.
No change in points. Drive-By said that there was also a cut.
Yep, against the Portland Jammer.
And that was upheld. And
yep.
The Portland Jammer is now in the box, and they may use their review, and there is no change in points there either.
Correct.
So 2 official reviews, 2 different outcomes. They both kind of happened at the same time, which is why there was a big long lag. I hope that that was clear from our end, because that was a lot of information from the awesome refs that we have here at the Big O, and I don't know how they keep it straight.
It was, and that gave Thomas Refferson plenty of time to sneak on through, pick up lead jammer and 5 points.
Thomas Repperson picking up another 5 points for the Drive-By City Rollers, working on his power jam. He is going to look for a few more before Captain Obvious breaks through the back of the pack, and he does. He gets 2 more. Portland 0 on that pass. That will bring the Drive-By City Rollers up to 77. Bridgetown Menace at 93 with 5 minutes left to go in this half.
If you haven't checked it out already, we have a ton of vendors over in the room with track 1, and many others, including living color duct tape. All right, there we go. That one's done. Back to the bigger raffle.
So it looks like we have a penalty on the drive-by jammer. What the hell is he doing?
He got knocked out by the jammer. So he had to enter behind him, but so he just kept staying with that pack, and he was waiting for him to take off.
Gotcha.
That was a lot of strategy there with the Portland jammer, Chris Austin.
Yeah, boy, I will admit, he had me lost there very briefly. I couldn't figure out why he was skating on the other side of the line, but you explained it so beautifully.
Well, he had hit Trini Ricardo out. Instead of taking off, he stuck with his pack, therefore making it hard for him to get back inside legally without taking off. So that's why he was skating around on the outside waiting for that jammer to take off, and that jammer just kept him held back.
Boy, very smart move there.
Is that 6 points?
Yeah.
Explain that to me. How do you get 6 points?
I feel like I'm in an alternate dimension, kind of.
You know, since the double official review after the last jam, this was a bit of a whirlwind. The skating out of bounds,
Yeah,
the alleged 6 points.
So I will explain one of this. Since the white jammer had to be recycled back, he is actually on his initial pass. When he made the pass through, he thought he was getting points, and he was technically on his initial pass, so there are no points awarded to the Drive-By City Rollers for that.
Looks like Shreddy Mercury's through first, picks up lead jammer for Portland.
Although, you're right, ever since that review, it has kind of felt like the Twilight Zone of Derby here at the announcing desk a little bit. Some very weird things happening.
Well, at least we're giggling about it. Shreddy Mercury owning the track right now, picking up 5 points. Does a nice apex hop right past Defensive Destroyer. Gets a cutting the track penalty sent to the box.
Getting called for the track cut, so he didn't quite make that. And it does look like Chachi is going to pick up 5 points for drive-by.
Looks like we got a star pass from Chachi to Defensive Destroyer.
And they did this during the last bout as well and gave it to Defensive Destroyer, and it's kind of fantastic, but he is called for the back block, and so he will head to the penalty box, and there will be a power jam for Shreddy Mercury as he is released. Shreddy Mercury, 5 more points. And it looks like he was looking for another 5 points.
Look at all that safety happening on the track.
I have to say, I really enjoy that I look to my left and the vice president of the MRDA is walking around in a dress. I think it's pretty miraculous. And he looks pretty darn good, too.
Indeed.
So we are starting the second half of this slightly odd bout here at the Big O, Portland versus the Drive-By City Rollers. That is Shreddy Mercury with the lead jam status, followed by Nugget. Shreddy Mercury faking everybody out, taking the outside line and picking up 4 points.
We'd like to thank KPNW News Radio 1020. Chris Austin on the line with a shove against Thomas Reverson. Start the jam off. Both jammers fighting hard, but Portland comes through with that one. Chris Austin picking up lead jammer. I remember when skaters used to race onto the track between jams to get the pivot line. Remember that thing called the pivot line? Anyone? Anyone?
Oh, that's what that extra line is for. I gotcha. I've always wondered that.
Back when I used to skate roller derby, there was this thing called the pivot line.
That's great. Okay, after a lot of pushing and shoving, once again, Shreddy Mercury coming out with the lead jam.
Override working hard to get through that last wall of purple, and he does finally.
Nugget finally able to battle past Munster and Cosmo Damage.
Let me guess, the Texas Holy game is over.
Yeah.
Up on the line, we got Chachi for Drive-By City versus Captain Obvious for Bridgetown.
Do we have a scorer for that one?
I did not see.
I think we should try and find Lance.
Lance, what was his last name?
Crummett. Captain Obvious through first, picks up lead jammer. Looks like Chachi's out on the sidelines.
Okay. It's like we're having a discussion about what happened in that last jam and we have a player down.
Come on, guys, take a knee.
Biggie. Biggie. Wow. Wow. That's the first time Texas has ever beat Ole.
What was the score?
2-1 Texas margin is what they said. Ouchies. That's a hell of a way for your first win against Ole, huh?
Chris Austin sent to the box for cutting the track penalty.
So Drive-By City getting a big boost if they can break free and try and pick up some of those extra points, but it looks like they're having huge issue up there at the front. Munster, the last line of defense for Portland, finally allowing him to break free, and now he is going to try and obtain some of those extra points that Drive-By needs to close up that point differential.
Looks like we got a high block penalty called on random battle. He'll spend his 30 seconds in the box. Meanwhile, Thomas Reverson, fighting hard to get through that wall of purple, takes a hit to the outside and calls it. We'd like to thank Blair Alley for bringing the after party to the Whitaker on Sunday night. Blair Alley Arcade. Long time no see. Yep. Isn't she an EMT? Folks, we had an official timeout while our EMTs were helping a skater. We have to make sure that EMTs are available each and every jam to make sure everyone stays safe. Looks like we got a whole nother crew of EMTs over here because that's how we roll, and we're ready to start up again. Override on the line, number 11 for Drive-By City, up against Shreddy Mercury for Bridgetown. Shredder Mercury through first, picks up lead jammer. There's no point in saying this Wild Duck Cafe, they're closed. I said the food's closed, so they're done. No more anything we have to say. What? Children for sale?
Yes, I would like one. No, I don't. What, you? No. Okay, so we are back to the action. Captain Obvious on the jam for Portland, and Drive-By City picking up lead jammer for what I think is only the third or fourth time this bout. And as Captain Obvious heads to the penalty box, we are going to have a power jam situation for Drive-By. Tricky Ricardo looking like he's taking the jammer cover.
Folks, if you are trickling in from the other tracks, we have plenty of room in the bleachers still.
So Drive-By City a chance to pick up some extra points and try and keep themselves too far out of point debt with Portland. Drive-By picking up lead jammer as they work on the power jam. Tricky Ricardo, a little hop over the apex. Beautiful move there. And he picks up 5 points.
Another official review.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Another official review. Official review, official review, another official review. Folks, in case you haven't had enough, we got another official review. That's right, official reviews coming to you courtesy of the Big O. Anybody out there enjoying themselves? I'm enjoying myself. Glad to hear it. If you're having fun this year, next year we're going to have the same party here. Ready to come again? The Big O 2015 dates are set for May 1st through 3rd, 2015. Mark your calendars now. I know you people have smartphones. Bust them out. Put them in there now. Coming again, the Big O. Okay, NSOs keep working.
Yeah, right? Darn it.
And we're back to Derby. Looks like we got Shreddy Mercury on the line for Portland up against Thomas Rufferson.
Thomas Rufferson, of course, in that bout against Deep Valley, picking up a ton of points during all the power plays that happened there.
Shreddy Mercury through before the first turn, making it look easy. I assure you folks, it's not.
And Portland's defense tonight just has been amazing. Cougar Bait and Cosmo Damage up at the front, laying down a block on Thomas Rufferson, and Shreddy Mercury in the meantime picking up 5 points for Portland. And it looks like nearly like the pack has stopped moving individually. It's moving kind of as a big blob, and Thomas Rufferson finally breaking free. Shreddy Mercury skating the inside line and finally calling off the jam. And nobody getting any points on that pass. I might die.
Oh my God, 20 more minutes.
Yeah, I'm just like, no more of this.
I'm really tired. I don't know why.
Nugget being forced back right out of the box by Demolition Man in the back, and he is going to try and do that again. In the meantime, Chris Austin picking up lead jammer for Portland and getting a huge push out from Defensive Destroyer, also getting recycled back, so nobody quite managing to break free of that pack. Chris Austin managing to pick up 5 points. And he is going to keep circling as Nugget still struggles to get past that Portland defense. Earl Slick managing to push Nugget out towards the inside, and Nugget having to recycle all the way to the back. Nugget laying a big hit on Chris Austin as he comes back around. Austin still struggling to get up, and it looks like we do have an attempted star pass. Tricky Ricardo taking the star, but he has not yet been able to finish up that star pass, and Portland did catch it before he was able to do that, so he has not been able to execute that yet. And that is still the initial pass, so Drive-By has not attempted a scoring pass yet. As soon as that happened, Portland will call off the jam after accumulating their 4 points. Not Drive-By, and I want the bout to be over right now. Captain Obvious up alongside Override on the jam line. Captain Obvious getting recycled way to the back by Redheaded Deathchild. Captain Obvious coming in hot to the penalty box, and this is definitely a couple of extra for him. And so once again, Override having a chance to close up the point differential and pick up some points, but once again, Cosmo Damage and Cougar Bait up at the front of the pack, causing huge problems for him. Override finally coming in for his scoring pass. Captain Obvious released from the penalty box and trying to make his way as quickly as possible to the back of the pack. Override picking up 4 points and calling off that jam. 16 minutes remaining in this half. 155 to 105 is your updated score in favor of the Bridgetown Menace. So Shreddy Mercury as the lead jammer, picking up 5 points for Bridgetown Menace. Chachi finally squeezing past Earl Slick on his initial pass. Shreddy Mercury taking a hit from Nugget, not able to hold his position, and so he is pushed out and calling off the jam.
Did you folks know that the Big O is a green event? It's the first certified socially and environmentally responsible roller derby tournament event. As a green event, we encourage everyone to please utilize the receptacles for composting and recycling. Welcome to Eugene, folks. Actually, Emerald City Roller Girls have been rocking green events for about 4 years now. All of our bouts are completely green, sustainable events.
Just an FYI, chicken is not compostable.
Not the bones. Chicken bones do not go on the compost,
So
folks.
you can't compost the extra bits out of your chicken wings that you don't eat. Just so you know.
So true.
Chris Austin picking up lead jammer for Portland. Nick Fury taking his initial pass, but Chris Austin calling off that jam before he can make it to the back of the pack.
Both Thomas Jefferson and Shreddy Mercury held to the back of the pack. Shreddy sneaks on through during the second turn, picks up lead jammer for Portland.
Shreddy Mercury with a very nice apex jump. Despite the slip at the end, he still picks up his 4 points. Drive by also picking up 3 points on that pass.
He was sent to the box. He was sent to the box too, Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah. Portland starting out this jam on a power jam as Thomas Jefferson was sent to the penalty box. Directly following that jam, Cougar Bait for his first time up to the line. Looking to put some extra points on the board for Portland, and he gets lead jam. Cougar Bait, 5 points for the Bridgetown Menace. Everybody back at full strength now that Thomas Jefferson has rejoined the pack, and he will be finished with his initial pass, but not have a chance to score.
Oh, I figured out how the 6-point jam works. Okay, what happened?
So
On his initial pass, the other jammer passed him, but skated backwards, and so on the next pass, he passed him again. So it's actually scored as 5 points plus 1 because the other jammer wasn't out on his initial pass yet.
That's crazy.
yeah, isn't that weird?
That is weird.
I've never seen that happen.
I've never seen it score either. Portland sneaks through, picks up lead, and calls it off. Bim, bam, boom. Chris Austin and Chachi on the line. Chris Austin fighting to keep Chachi back behind that wall. Pays off. He's through and picks up lead jammer. Chachi called for cutting the track penalty, sent to the box, making this a power jam for Portland. Chachi starting this next jam in the penalty box, making this a power jam to start things off for Shreddy Mercury in Portland.
So 10 minutes remaining in this bout. Your current score, 194 to 108 in favor of the Bridgetown Menace.
It did. That attempted star pass on drive-bys, bit rough in the execution there. Took 3/4 of a lap for them to pass that star. That did not help them at all.
So very quickly to sort of recap on that jam, what looked like happened was we had a high block call on Earl Slick in the process of a star pass happening.
Both so short and cute. They're both so short.
Who, Cougar Bait?
And Windbreaker.
Oh, yeah.
They're like,
Cougar Bait is the sweetest ever.
yeah. I know. I like the hand motion. No, they're not. I'm really hungry all of a sudden.
Earl must have like an egregious penalty because he's been in there for a while. That's longer than a 30-second penalty.
I don't know. It's not helping them.
I think the star pass in general might not be the
Folks, I'm still having a good time. I hope you are too. Hanging hard, last bout of the night. Up in the line, we got Chris Austin up for Portland, up against Thomas Reverson for Drive-By City. Drive-by gets through, picks up their points, and calls it. I missed that call.
It looks like we have Shreddy Mercury headed to the penalty box for Portland. So drive-by on a power jam situation with the opportunity to gain a few extra points here.
Chris Austin on the lineup against Avenger Holyfield. Chris Austin through before the second turn, picks up lead jammer. Just over 3 minutes left in this last bout of Friday night of the Big O Tournament 2014. Thanks again for coming out and supporting everybody, y'all. Again with the star passing.
Yeah, I don't really understand.
Drive-by said he found that star pass. But Override is having a hard time against that wall of purple up front.
They're all really excited about Shreddy's points tonight.
I know.
Yes, we're all very impressed with reading the stands up.
band just makes me want another tattoo. Cha-cha hit to the outside by Chris Austin. He's going back, 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 back. I think he got called though. Chachi has to fight hard with only 2 of his guys out there to help him. That's why they call it the crash zone, folks.
The end of the game. We're just giving them all away.
Right. And a star pass. We should have been counting that, not lead jammers.
Right?
Damn it. Nugget fighting hard up front. Up against Cougar Bait, gets through. And that is the bout, folks. Our unofficial final score, 125 Drive-By City to 234 Bridgetown Menace. Unofficial final score. Either way, they got their ass kicked.
Okay. Well, that was super not exciting.
Thank you to everyone who came out tonight. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for hanging hard through the last bout of the night. We'll be here all weekend.